Hello and welcome to Real Hi-Fi Help. I will show you in this video what I consider to be the most musical and natural and fully integrated copper cable I think in the world. Actually, it's the one that I've found that has the best effect on tube and transistor sound, especially transistor sound. You can have a relatively bad transistor amplifier, CD, DAC, whatever setup, all being transistor. You can have a relatively bad type of sound, but still get the best, almost the best out of it by using this cable. This is one of the, like I said before, this is one of the absolute best cables in the world value-wise. So if you're feeling that maybe your transistor sound is lacking beauty, true connection, proper instrument reproduction, and just that warm, cozy, fully glued on experience, maybe it feels a bit harsh, it's a bit there's some kind of an imbalance. I strongly suggest that most people that have transistor gear and also tube gear, especially if you have audio note tube, if you have audio note tube gear and you especially have some kind of a lower to mid class audio note tube gear, this will sound awesome because this is the same type of cable that they use in a lot of that type of gear. You could feel with the highest models that they use in audio note that this is going to hold it a bit back, be a bit of a lower level of warmth, and there you need like the audio note silver cables. That's like the only silver cable I know that's truly deeply warm and has the most natural sound ever. But of course it comes with a ridiculous price, so only like a select few people can get to try that and use it and actually harvest that sound. So what I'm talking about here is, I think, the cable that most people should go out and try. If you know an audio note store and you can get this speaker cable here, and preferably if it has these audio note silver spades or what's it called, silver banana plugs, that makes it like 1.5 times better almost. This also sounds ridiculously good with AudioQuest silver banana plugs and Oyed SRBN banana plugs. It's a more of a fresh, sexy type of sound with those plugs. But those three plugs are like the winning combination for most sound systems in the world. Transistor, tube, with this cable. I can't say I promise you because everybody's system is different, but I have tested many cables throughout the years, and there are some few, I would say like probably 20, 30, 40 that really stick out a lot. But I would have to say that this is one of the 10, I would say top 10 cables in the world, simply because it's just so natural, it's so beautiful, it has such a nice flow. And yeah, you can of course buy cables that cost a lot more than this cable. You can get some really exclusive cables that have a lot more of an ability to impress you and isolate certain types of detail, like isolate the string effect, highlighting it more. You can get a more analytical, dissected type of sound by, for example, taking MIT cables. But I would say that overall, if I had to choose one cable that I would consider to be most compatible with most transistor equipment, especially, but also tube equipment. I would say take this and try and use it either in a single wire or bi-wire combination. Perhaps you can, I don't know, borrow it from an audio note store or even make it yourself. This is truly one of the best ever cables that I've tried in hi-fi. And let's say that this is too much for you, the price. I fully get that. If you're really into like let's say a similar type of sound, but a sound that probably cuts a bit more through, that is probably a tiny bit more harsh and a bit more fresh, but not quite as good as this one, but gives you almost the same qualities. I would say Sommercable Quadra Blue, and that's like, I think, a third of the price. It's not quite there. I mean, the music, instrument reproduction, the softness, the naturality, the full integration. I think this clearly takes the cake. But if you can't afford this, try then a slightly worse quality cable, which also is crazy good, Sommercable Quadra Blue. And I'm guessing that's like, it's about a third of this price. But let's say that you still are like screwed price-wise, and that's like, for you, still a lot of money. Okay, last cable. Then I would say the Sommercable Elephant cable. That's like, I would say, the best budget cable that I know, which only costs like a couple of bucks per meter. And there with a budget cable, that would be really great, combining that with some like some CMC gold plugs. That would just be awesome, like as the very first starter cable that you have, where you get a huge amount of value. So that's it. I've given you guys 3 fantastic good value cables that you can basically use on most gear on the market. So I hope that helps you guys, especially you guys having these transistor setups. And I'm especially thinking about the people owning, a lot of this mid to like high end type of gear. I'm talking about M Labs, Pass Labs, Mark Levinson, Equiphase, Macintosh, even probably some of the lower gear than that. Just try it. I mean, this is like, yeah, I would say this could really in itself solve a lot of your problems, so that you not necessarily have to buy a new DAC or a new CD or a new amplifier or a new speaker. It's that good. And you won't really see me recommending other cables than those 3 cables, because these are like 3 cables that you can use for most equipment out there. But still, again, this, if you want the closest to top sound and having all of those earthy, rare elements in the sound, without a doubt, go for this. But again, be warned, if you have like the most basic, horrible, closed in type of sound, and your gear is like some of the worst in the world, perhaps you don't want to use so much money on this cable, and perhaps you just want to go for the Sommercable, which is sadly more honest, more harsh in sound, not as nice to listen to, but those are your options. I hope that this helps you guys out there making your own cables, or just want to buy something that has a really good value. I truly believe that this is the cable that almost beats everything on the market within reason. Let's not talk about the big brother to this cable that truly beats everything, because that's in a certain context where you have crazy gear that actually has that cable inside, so we can't really talk about that cable. But try this cable. This will truly, I think, astound you, especially if you're used to cables that are a lower level of warmth, like I don't know, you know, the cables that I mentioned previously on my videos, like Fenden Hull cables, or a lot of other cables. You don't know what true warmth is until you've tried this cable. So yeah, I hope that helps you guys solving the problems that you guys have with your system. So this is me logging out, and remember to like and subscribe. Bye.